centimeter and PQ is 9 centimeter. Now the radius here is 6 centimeter. So if O is the center, then OQ is 6 centimeter. Similarly, OP is 6 centimeter because they are radiuses, so they form an isosceles triangle. Now your total PQ is 9 centimeter. Therefore, if you drop a perpendicular, you'll have 4.5 on this side and 4.5 on this side. Now, in order to get the area of the major segment, you're told to calculate the area of the major segment. We have to get the idea that what is a segment. Assume you have a circle, then you have a chord running from point A to B. A chord is simply a line joining 2 points on the circumference of a circle. So this one is chord. This chord A is joining A to B, separates this particular circle into 2 segments. The part we call the major segment is the bigger part here. The bigger portion of the circle is the major segment, and the smaller part or the smaller portion of the circle is called the minor segment. So in our question here, the first thing we need to identify is that we need to assume that we had a full circle. So if we had a full circle, then automatically, in order to get the area of the remaining segment, which is the major segment, we need to get the area of the smaller segment, subtract it from the area of a circle. So let's get to it. Now we'll use these formulas for finding the area of a sector, because in order to get the area of the segment, first of all, we start with the area of the sector. And the area of the sector is given by theta all over 360 pi r squared, where theta is simply the angle subtended at the center here by this particular sector POQ. Then this one is for the sector. Then we also need to find the area of the triangle. Area of the triangle given by a half times radius squared sine of theta. So whenever you have a triangle, let's say you have a triangle, this triangle here, you have this point A and B, and you have angle in between theta, then the area is always given by a half AB sine of theta, the angle in between. If it was alpha here, then it will be, let's say this point is C, so the area becomes A is equal to a half times A times C sine of alpha. So you similarly take two sides and the angle in between, the sine of the angle in between. So the first thing is to find the angle, and the only way you can find the angle is by applying the SOHCAHTOA, the sine, cos, and tan, the trigonometric identities. So in this case, we'll start by finding the angle here. Let me just extract it. Let me try to extract it here. So assume you drop a perpendicular, forms 90 degrees, then you have theta here, so you'll have that triangle forming a right angle triangle because it's an isosceles triangle. So this one is O, this one is, let's say, M, and this one is Q. So we want to find theta. Here is 6 centimeter, and that there you have 4.5 centimeter, because if you drop a perpendicular, PQ was 9, so half of it becomes 4.5. So sine of theta is equal to opposite, which is 4.5, all over hypotenuse, which is 6 centimeter. So theta will be sine inverse of 4.5, and the sine inverse of 4.5 divided by 6 is 0.5 divided by 6. Sine inverse, we have 48.59, which is 48.6, but that is only one part. Multiply it by 2, you find 97. 48.6 times 2 gives you 97.2. So the angle there subtended at the center is equal to 97.2 degrees. So this is the angle that we'll use to find the area of the segment. So allow me to rub. Let's proceed first. Then, so let's start with the area of the sector. The sector will be given by, now the sector will be given by theta, which is 97.2 divided by 360 times 22 all over 7 times the radius, which in this case is 6 centimeter, that is theta all over 360 pi r squared. So it will be 6 squared. From your calculator, you get 30.55. So the area is given by 30.55 centimeter squared. Whereas if you want to get the area of the triangle, let's rub here. So the area of the triangle will be given by a half times the radius, which is 6, times the radius, which is 6, times the sine of the angle in between, which is 97.2. So that will give us 17.86 centimeter squared. So it means that if you want to get the area of that particular major segment, now we'll say the area of the segment, the minor segment, now the smaller one, will be given by the area of the sector minus the area of the triangle, which is 30.55 minus 17.86. So 30.55 minus 17.86, you get 12.69 centimeter. So learners, that becomes the area of this particular shaded area. But you are asked to find the area of the major segment. So in order to get the area of the major segment, you'll simply say, so we'll find the area of the circle first. Area of a circle is given by pi r squared, then minus the area of the smaller segment, which in this case you have 12.69. So it will be 22 all over 7 times 6 squared, which gives us 113.14 centimeter. So we have 113.14 minus 12.69. So the area of this major segment now becomes 100.45 square centimeter. You can feel free to pause and try it out. Then we move to the second one. Allow me to rub because I want to use this space. You can pause and copy. You have another question here. You are told find the area. This one is unrelated. You are told to find the area of a triangle with sides. Find the area of a triangle with sides. Let's say this one is a triangle. The A, B, and C. Sides 7 centimeter, 9 centimeter, and 11 centimeter. So in this case, we'll apply the Heron's formula. Heron's formula, whereby you say, first of all, you say area. So the formula for Heron's formula is area is given by the square root of s into s minus a, s minus b, then s minus c, where s is given by a plus b plus c divided by 2. So in this case, our s will be given by 9 plus 7 plus 11 divided by 2, which is equal to 13.5 centimeter. So the next thing is simply to replace the values of s in our equation. So allow me to rub. Let me write this point because you'll need it. So you only apply this formula when you are given 3 sides and no angle. So we'll apply, we'll simply say now the area will be given by S, in this case is 13.5 into 13.5, that space will be very small. Let me wrap this one here. So we have areas given by the square root 13.5 into 13.5 minus the first one, which was 7, into 13.5 minus the second one, which is 9, into 13.5 minus the last one, which is 11. So if you do the maths, you'll find you have approximately the square root of 987.1875. On the square root, this area is given by, this area is approximately 31.42 centimeter square. Again, feel free to pause and try it out. Then we move to the next number. We're told a man withdrew some money from a bank. He spent 3 all over 10 of the money on his daughter's school fees and 3 all over 8 of the remainder on his son's school fees. If he remained with 10,500 Kenyan shillings, calculate the amount of money he spent on the son's school fees. Now the first thing is, always, let the amount of money spent be X, and that X be equivalent to 1 whole, because the total number is of a fraction is 1. So in this case, we will say now, we start with the amount of money spent on the daughter. So daughter loan is equal to 3 all over 10. That is the fraction of the money spent on the daughter, 3 all over 10. Remember, the total fraction is equivalent to the total money, which is 1. So, and we are told on the son, he spent 3 all over 5 of the remainder. 3 all over 5 of the remainder will be 3 all over 5 of 1 minus what remained after spending on the daughter, which was 3 all over 10. So this one is the same as 3 all over 5 of 7 all over 10. And of means a multiplication. So 3 all over 5 multiplied by 7 all over 10 to give us 21 all over 50. So this is the amount, the fraction he spent on the son. Now, if he remained with 10,500, calculate the amount of money he spent on the son's school fee. Then it means that after spending on the daughter and the son, he still remained with 10,500. So you need to get the total fraction spent on the daughter and the son. So total will be given by the amount spent on the daughter, which was 3 all over 10, plus 21 all over 50. This one will give us 3. You can use the calculator. 3 all over 10 plus 21 all over 50. That one gives us 18 all over 25. This one is the what spent on both the daughter and the son. Now we want to find out which was the fraction that remained. So the fraction that remainder will be now the total fraction, which was 1 minus 18 all over 25. So 1 minus the answer should give us 7 all over 25. So remainder is equal to 7 all over 25. So remember, this 7 all over 25 is now equivalent. Let me rub on the other side. This 7 all over 25 is equivalent to what remained, which is 10,500. What about now the amount of money which was spent on the son? You can decide to find the whole amount that was there, or simply go ahead and find the amount of money that was spent on the son, which in this case the son was represented by a fraction of the 21 all over 50. What about 21 all over 50? So you cross multiply. So 21 all over 50 multiply the other one, so it will be 21 all over 50 multiplied by 10,500 Then divided by 7 all over 25 is the same as multiplied by the reciprocal, which is 25 all over 7. So you get 1 times 10,500 times 25 divided by 50 divided by 7. You get 15,750 Kenya shillings. So this was the amount of money spent on the sun. Again, feel free, pause and leave a comment. So let's proceed. So there's this question here, indices. You're told solve for x. So this one has two approaches. So the first one is simply, you realize that 108 cannot be written as a base of 3, and it will have a remainder. So this is what you do, simply express 9 as a base of 3, so it will be 3 power 2 into x plus 1 plus 3 power 2 x plus 1 equal to 108. Therefore, open the bracket, this one is the same as 3 power 2x plus 2, 2 times 1 gives you 2, plus 3 power 2x plus 1 equal to 108. So you can decide to factor out, because 3 power 2x can be written as 3 power 2x multiplied by or dot, because we have addition, laws of indices, whereby you have a power m multiplied by a power n is the same as a power m plus n. You add the power, so meaning if you want to write them in terms of bases, you simply replace the bases. Now this one will be 3 squared plus 3 power 2x dot 3 power 1 equal to 108. So we will factorize 3 power 2x because it's common here and it's common there, so it will be 3 power 2x outside, introduce a bracket, 3 power 2 is the same as 9 plus 3 power 1 is the same as 3 equal to 108. Then this one will give us 3 power 2x multiplied by 9 plus 3 is 12 equal to 108. Divide both sides by 12, divide both sides by 12. So 108 divided by 12 is giving us 9. So 3 power 2x equal to 9. And 9 can also be written as a base of 3. So it will be 3 power 2x is equal to 3 power 2. You drop the bases because they are the same. So it will be 2x equal to 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X is equal to 1. Also feel free and pause. So we move to the next one. You're told that the volume of a smaller solid spheres are 4,752 cubic centimeter and 1,408 cubic centimeter. If the surface area of the smaller sphere is 352 square centimeter, find the surface area of the larger sphere. So let's use the circles to represent the sphere. We have this bigger sphere here and the smaller sphere. So the volume here is given by the volume of the bigger one, which is 4,752 cubic centimeter, and the volume on the other side, let me use another ink, is given by 1,408 cubic centimeter. Whereas the area of the smaller sphere, area here, is given by 352 square centimeter. This one is cubic, this one is also cubic. Now you need, first of all, need to know that these are two similar objects, so you use the idea of similarity and congruence. And the first thing we do is find the volume scale factor. So this one is an object, this one is the object, and this one will be our image. An object can be enlarged whether when it increases in size or reduces in size. So it will be the volume, which is 1,408 divided by 4,752. So if you do the maths, that is 1408 divided by 4752 should give you 8 all over 27. So the volume scale factor is equal to, I advise to use it as a fraction, 8 all over 27. So for you to find a linear scale factor and go back to, in order to get the area of the smaller one, we need to find the linear scale factor. And you know the idea, linear scale factor cubed equal to volume scale factor. So it means that in order to get linear scale factor, we'll find the cube root of volume scale factor, 8 all over 27. Find the cube root. Because this one was supposed to be cube, find the cube root. The cube root and the cube will cancel out. So the cube root of the answer is equal to 2 all over 3. So linear scale factor is now 2 all over 3. Now we now get the area scale factor. Area scale factor is the same as linear scale factor squared. So this one will give us 2 all over 3 squared, which is equal to 4 all over 9. So with that, we can represent, remember the smaller one always represent the smaller value and the bigger one represent the bigger value. So you can decide to go directly and say 4 is equivalent to 352 centimeters square. What about 9? You cross multiply. Then you'll have 9 times 3, 5, 2 divided by 4. So the area of the larger sphere will be given by 9 times 352 divided by 4, giving you 792. So the area is equal to 792 centimeters square.